Hello.
Hello. Oh my God, your energy is so beautiful. Oh, I don't meet people like you very often.
Aw,
Oh my goodness, your energy. Oh, hello, beautiful soul. How are you?
thank you. I'm doing so well. Oh my goodness. Wow, what a pleasant introduction. So, welcome, Anna. Thank you so much for hopping on. For everybody who's watching, this is my first time meeting Anna, and what an introduction. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm like tearing up. That was really sweet.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry at all. Thank you. Well, welcome.
How are you?
I'm doing really, really well. I live in the forest in a cabin here, and it's been raining the last few days. And it's like in this cabin in the rain is the most magical experience. I slept in this morning just to like listen to the rain and just soak it all in. And it's like surround sound rain here. So it's really
Yeah.
it's lovely. I'm like, yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh, how much time do we have, my dear?
About 20 minutes,
20 minutes.
20,
I
25.
have a story to tell you.
Okay.
I am not a public speaker. A lot of people like to call me that, and I am not a coach. That word is just not mine. I am something that I refer to as an oral historian. I believe that every person has one word inside of them that's locked, and it is their name.
Mm.
It took me 30 years to find my name, and mine is oral historian. I am very different. I am very, very different. And when I was born, different was not allowed. And they beat me very severely for my different. They beat me so deeply that I forgot everything. I forgot what I was. And what I was an oracle who could see the future. And I knew and saw things that I wasn't supposed to know. And that scared way too many people. But the other thing that I can do is I can see people. When I look at them, I see them. No one can use a mask on me. And that's a problem in that world. Their lies and their masks were absolutely nothing to me. I could see right through them, and I could always see every person exactly as their energy was, because I grew up on the ethereal plane. I grew up playing with the energy all my life. Energy is my first language, which
Love
is why I totally fell apart all over yours.
that.
It's my language. And when I was 15 years old, I tried to kill myself. I slit my wrist, and no one noticed. No one noticed. And I realized at that point that it's not rock bottom that changes people, it's a breaking point. But where's the breaking point? So I decided to start looking for the breaking point, that moment when we all change. What is the difference? And I set out and started studying philosophy for these answers. And then I studied psychology, sociology, religion, theology, every subject in the world you can name, I named it. I studied it. And girls aren't supposed to be smart where I'm from. So they beat me for that too. And I was called crazy and stupid. And they beat me so much that I ended up with so many mental illness that I had brain damage. And then they hid me because my brain damage was clear evidence of what they had done to me. And that gave them so much shame. So they beat me more because I embarrassed and ashamed them. I had 4 owners, 2 husbands, and there was no difference between the owners and the husbands. I was raped on 9/11. I was used as a sex slave. I have worn chains It took 2 years for the scars to go away. So when I say I love freedom and I cannot wear a single chain, I cannot hide a single bit of me, it absolutely cost me a price that most people do not pay. In 2020, my friend of 28 years and then husband told me that I couldn't breed his children. I was too old, so he had to throw me away to find a woman who could. And I did not wait. I ran and escaped that hellhole. And I continued my healing. Now, when I healed a little bit. And I thought, I'm just going to be a normal human being like everybody else. Only I felt something much bigger and much deeper. And the more I healed, the deeper I got. And the more I healed, the more I realized that we have a God self inside of us, every one of us. And I found mine. And I found and remembered that I'm an oracle and that I'm an oral historian. And that's why I am so different. And that's why I had to go through everything I went through. But what's really interesting is that I found the breaking point. The breaking point is in the one place no one is ever looking. It isn't depression. When you get to that low point of killing yourself, it's not when you have way too much alcohol to drink. It's not when you take one too many pills. Because a lot of people don't survive that stage. Way too many of them die. If you look at the statistics of suicide, the failure rate is way too high. So the answer had to be wrong. Because when the answer is right, it's consistent. So where's the breaking point? The one place no one is looking is anger, because we're all avoiding it. I don't avoid anger. I embrace it, because anger is self-love. We suppress anger. We run from it. We hide from it because we associate anger with our abuser. Watch this. There are 3 stages of anger. The first one is aggression and violence. We all know that stage. Stage 2 is communication. It's when we all try and talk and we say, listen to me. You violated my boundary. And we think that's the answer and we think that's the way out. But there's a 3rd stage. And the 3rd stage is the breaking point. It's change. It's that moment in your life when you realize, I've had enough. I'm going to be someone different. It's in anger. It's the 3rd stage of anger. So when I tell you, don't get angry is wrong. Get angry, but don't get aggressive. And don't communicate. Go bigger. Go bigger and change. And that's when you will find your authentic self. We are inside the purest form of self-love. We are inside our anger. That's how I did it. That's how I freed myself. I had to find the breaking point. So I love play and I love story and I love being me, but I'm different and I scare people. And I have not been out since I was 4 years old. I used to dance naked in the sunlight and in the moonlight. And I dance and I dream on moonbeams and starlight. And that's how I talk. And they called me crazy for it. And I'm not crazy. I just live in Anna land. I live by a different logic. And they live by a different logic that I can't. I'm not compatible. And now I'm out and I'm the first one out. And I'm looking around and I see people and I'm going, I see you. I see you all. And there's nothing wrong with you. You just don't live in there. You live out here with me. And we're all wandering around going, what's wrong with me? And I know what's wrong. There's nothing wrong. You're just not free. You've literally been made to be afraid of your own self, just like me. And you are so terrified of who you really are because who you really are is really magical. Because I'm not the only one. I am just the first one. And I really want you to find who you are. And I know how. I'm Anna Imagination. What is your name?
My name is Cassia Soler, which is also a chosen name that just came to me this past year. Yeah.
I love chosen names.
It chose
The
me.
naming is a huge part of the journey. They do. They do.
Chose
It
me.
is such a huge part of it. Yeah. Yeah, they do choose you. Do
Mhm.
you know where names come from? They are the sound, the song literally from our frequency.
The name Cassia came to me during a light language transmission. I was doing light
Mhm.
language and the name landed. And when it landed, I like felt it enter my body. Like I felt it click. This was only like 6 months ago. But
Yeah.
it was like I felt the energy of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I see everyone with a shadow on. And today I finally shed the last of my shadow and I'm going, oh, this is what it feels like to be free. I had multiple personality disorder, but this is not one of my alters. This is me. And when I first came out in May of 2022, I had a lot of people saying, oh, it's just one of your alters. And no one believed me that I was real, not even me, because I had multiple personality disorder. It feels really good to be free. Tell me about the summit.
So, this summit, Awakening Your Magic, is all about tuning into your authentic self and how doing that unlocks your gifts and your unique like your magic. And I like to call it like your unique soul signature. So, your authentic self being the alignment of your higher self with, you know,
Mhm.
yeah, your connection to the earth. And so, the word authenticity gets thrown around a lot in our society, and I think
It does.
it does. And it's almost like I had another a speaker say it's almost like it's lost its meaning because it's almost like it's the meaning of it just sort of is like subject to the eye of the beholder. But I feel
Yeah. No, it's, I can tell you what that is. Oh my God, I'm excited now. It makes sense. I know what that is. Oh, this is a good thing. Oh, this is a very good thing. It's that we sense it. You know how everything trends?
Mhm.
This is the next trend, except this is the one we've been looking for. But we're so used to trends that we're going, oh, it's the next trend. We're looking for something. What is it? And I'm sitting here going, you found it. Look closer. But yeah, there's a lot of people who can't quite define it. They just need the right words. So I do everything on podcast, everything. Everything I do is recorded. And I started recording in 2014. So my healing is all documented, all of it. You
Wow.
get to see where I was when I was 70 pounds heavier and when I was Joanna. I get to go back and actually watch and see Joanna working. I get to see Kalan.
Wow.
Those are my altars. And I wrote books, but I didn't write them. My altars wrote them,
Oh my gosh.
all of them. Yeah.
Wow.
And they would take turns writing my books. So depending upon who was in charge, depends on who wrote the book. And Then, oh yeah, and it's all documented. It's all on YouTube or it's all on Amazon for sale. This is my favorite part. And then in 2015, they all got together and wrote Broken. Broken is my journal depicting my entire life. And every one of my altars took time to tell their version of my memoir, those little bastards. And I didn't realize it until now. So after I wrote Broken, I walked away and said, I need to, I need to heal. I need help. So I started therapy and I walked in and I was like, oh, this is crap. They don't know what they're doing. I'd studied 20 years in psychology. So I created my own system called Triadic Healing. Well, I didn't call it that then, but I would. And I literally used it to put my mind back together again. And it worked. It literally defines your authentic self. It's not a healing journey. It's a journey of authenticity. It literally is the step-by-step program in 8 weeks to get you from wherever it is the system puts you to freeing your inner. I thought I was creating a healing journey, and it's not. Triadic Healing is the authentic journey to get you from wherever it is you're healing and you're pursuing all these meditations. You're not healing. You are reviving your authenticity. It's a rescue mission. That's the difference. So everyone's going, I need healing, I need healing, I need medicine. No, you need to remember. You just need to remember. You just need to remember who you are. Just remember. So I started to remember. And about 2 weeks ago, I wrote a song. I forgot that I was a composer. And I wrote my music again. And then I remembered all of me. So I'm looking for stages to tell my story, but I cannot walk into your world part of that law. I have to walk in as myself because it hurts me to wear a mask. Please don't make me wear a mask. It really hurts me. And I think it hurts all of you. So 20 minutes ago, I went onto a podcast and I recorded all of my journey. And in the middle of my recording, I remembered that I'm an oral historian and I caught it all on video. Here's the link. When we're done here, watch it. And then I sang my song. And all we have to do is sing. That's all we have to do. I even wrote the song. I'm lonely. I'm lost. I'm cold. And I'm broken. We've been silent for too long. We all have forgotten who we used to be, who we are. This is not a song. These are not words. It's a message I've been trying to give to you. It's time to remember. It's safe to come out now. The monsters are gone. It's safe to be seen. I'm lonely, I'm lost, I'm cold, and I'm broken. We've been silent for too long. We all have forgotten who we used to be, who we are. These are not words. This is not a song. It's a message I have been giving to all of you. It's safe to come out now. It's safe to be seen. I'm just the first one. I'm just the first one. I'm not special. We all are gods. Get forgotten. We have the power to create and to destroy. Because we're gods. And look at what we're doing. We really need to remember now. Because we can also create. And I know how. I know how to heal the world. I have a plan for world peace. I've already connected the people who I need. They're already in place. I have a team. I have a plan. It's all done. I just need an audience. I just need you to listen.
It's a very powerful message.
I need it. I don't think that's my story.
So, how do we remember? How do we help people remember who they are?
Triadic healing. Triadic healing. It's who you love. It's what you love. It's all in the love.
Mm.
It's everything you love. We are love. We are pure love. The Bible is half right, but it's written in metaphor. But God is love. We are the gods. All the religions are right. They're all right. It's just a variation of the same story. You just need to know what the story is. The problem is they're all written in metaphor. Only one of the religions is literal. The rest are all metaphorical. The question is, which one is the right one? That's why we've been arguing. People aren't going to like the answer. But they're all right. They're just interpretations of the same story. The right one, for me, is Irish mythology. And I will tell you why. It is the only religion that was not able to get destroyed. Of all the religions in the world, every one of them is extinct. Every one of them has been violated. Every one of them has been warred upon and ripped apart, except one, Irish mythology.
Hmm. Interesting.
When St. Patrick's went into Ireland, he preserved it. He protected it. And do you want to know what happened to that culture because of St. Patrick? The people turned to story and books. You see, Ireland is the only culture that values story, and story is magic. They valued story so much that their scholars were the most revered in the land. These people had such great honor and they were in such high demand that they walked the entire island, memorizing their entire history, mastering the art form of taking stage and teaching through story and song and music. Kings would call upon them. They were called bards. But bard was only a low first level. The highest of these was called the Fili. A Fili had mastery in philosophy, history, art, music, theater, psychology, human behavior. Their job was to teach through story. They did not need coin because they lived off of the generosity of people because they were bards. In Ireland, for the longest of time, to this day, if you are an artist, you don't pay taxes.
Wow.
Because they revere their artists in Ireland.
Mm.
They revere their stories so much that they created the illuminated scripts. According to Irish myth, aliens came down, true story, aliens came down from space, invaded and built massive, massive structures like pyramids. and Stonehenge. And these aliens were called the Tuatha De Danann, the children of Danann. Danann was such a great goddess that her name gave birth to the Danube River and Denmark. And her name literally appears all over the entire Roman Empire. In some form or another, Danann's name is there. There was a war, according to Irish myth, between the Firbolg and the Irish Tuatha De Danann. And the Tuatha De Danann lost the war and they went underground. To this day, we refer to those as little fey rings where the magic seeps from the earth. And those are the portals into the fey world. And Halloween, Samhain, is when the veils between the two worlds, the electromagnetic field, is the weakest. If you're hiding from things like the Firbolg, what would that feel like? You'd be terrified. And if you're gods, how do you get the children to contain their power? And for the Irish, their voice, their song is their magic because of the bards. So you tell the children to be quiet. You tell them children should be seen and not heard. And you repeat that, and you repeat it, and you repeat it, and you repeat it, and you repeat it. And generations live and generations die, and you hide holding in your magic because the Firbolg are out there and they can't know where the gods are. So you have to forget who you are. Children should be seen and not heard. How long have we been saying those words? Why are we saying those words? I think this is why we lost authenticity. There's truth in all legend. There's truth in all story. We forgot. And then religions rose, religions fell. People died out. Every religion was suppressed somehow. And when St. Patrick was sent into Ireland to suppress that story, he said, I'm going to preserve it. And he did. And what happened, true story, was they merged. Christianity merged with Irish myth so that Mary and Joseph and Jesus are an Irish myth with a fairy just walking about. The religion is still practiced today, untouched by any imperialism, as if protected.
Wow. Well, I have a lot of Irish roots, so I should do
If
some.
there is still magic in this world, it is in Ireland.
Wow.
I have such a pull toward Ireland. I was beaten for it as a child because we're not Irish. Actually, I am. My mother was. My family was English, American English, and we were not allowed to be Celtic. And my American family did not know why, but they hated the Irish and the Scottish, which was very much my mother's blood. But they forgot that they were even English and Irish. They're American now. So when I came out loving the bagpipes like I do, and when I came out encompassing oral storying like I do, they didn't understand it, and I was beaten even more for it. My story just keeps going around in circles like this. It's extraordinary.
Well, you'll make a fantastic public speaker, and I'm sure your podcasts are incredible because I could listen to you talk for probably hours. I wish we had more time. Wow. I'm just like, thank you so much for sharing all of that. You just opened up so many pathways for me to explore that I did not know. So thank you for that. Um,
You're welcome.
wow.
It
Yeah.
takes about 3 days. What you are experiencing, I refer to as a perspective shift. You're going to need 3 days. Go ahead and feel free if you need to contact me. Self-care process. Absolutely. Seek out things you love.
Mm.
You're going to need it. That's where everything comes back to. When you start putting things in place, this is the big one. Be aware of the C drop, surviving the C drop, and allow yourself to get angry. The
What's
C drop is key.
what does
The
that mean?
C, this in psychology, there is A, B, C, D. Okay. A is where you are right now. Well, where you were before I told you the story. And then you get to B. B is when you're at that point of change, and then you change and you drop. It is a severe drop in depression. It's part of the grieving process. It is the grieving process. It's the part we all go to when we grieve. And it keeps you there if you don't know how to get out. And then when you're done with it, you jump back up to point D. But B is always lower than D. This is growth. This is how and where it happens. With the C drop, when you go down, that's when people kill themselves. That's when people don't stand back up again. That's when people die. Beware of the C drop. I have courses that just focus on getting you through the C drop. But remember, the D is always higher. The more you suffer in C, the better the D is every time.
That's
Remember
encouraging.
that when you go through the C drop. Yes, remember that. Remember that. And you'll look forward to your C drops.
I would say in my life, I've been in that for like a couple of years. I'm still on my trying to, I don't know, elevate out of it. But the last few years have been that C drop for me for sure.
Authenticity is the only way to get out of it. Watch this. You're wearing a mask, you're wearing a mask, you're wearing a mask. You can't handle mask anymore, and you drop into depression. You are unable to take the mask off. You can't stand it anymore. You take the mask off. You're authentic again. And you wear the mask, you wear the mask, you wear the mask, you wear the mask. And you get depressed again because you can't stand it anymore. You finally rip the mask off. You jump back up to a D point. You're at the D point. You're at your new state of authenticity. You get familiar with yourself. You learn who you are. You celebrate your love. And then you find out that you're wearing another mask. It continues again. You get to B, and then you realize how much of that mask you're wearing, and it drops you down because you can't stand the conformity anymore. So you rip it off. That's what you're doing. That's growth. It's not healing. You're taking off the layers of the mask to get to who you really are. But who we really are gods. And we have a whole lot of people out there who don't want us to know that because they're scared.
Exactly. Oof.
Because what this is blasphemy, according to some. But according to me and a lot of others, it's truth. We are the gods. There's more. I have so much more. We are a hive mind that have to connect to the energy field to communicate. And that is the pole, that is home. But in order to do that, things have to happen.
Mhm.
You have to be completely clear. You have to be completely authentic. You have to be at the sixth perspective to hook your hippocampus up to the electromagnetic field. It happens automatically. Think Mercury retrograde. As soon as you hook up to the beehive, to the hive mind, the world changes. But the hive mind rips you out of conformity. And it's a separation. That's the pain of Mercury retrograde, is it's shaking you. And if it's not moving with you, it's going to rip you. So people get sucked in the sixth perspective until they learn how to completely shed themselves, all the masks, and they embrace their God self. A lot of them still hold on to the religion, and they've got to let that go because they are the God. The word arrogance is going to become a banned word. And it needs to be. Selfish needs to go away. These are toxic words. designed to keep us forgetting that we're gods. We need to remember now. The normalizing takes about 3 days, and it's very emotional. It's filled with turmoil. And then you feel fucking fantastic.
All right. Looking forward to that. It's such an interesting process because as I'm going through these interviews and deep diving into the subject of authenticity, and I've been on my spiritual awakening journey for the last 10 years, like devoted to it, all in on it. And still, even still to this day, I hit such a dark night of the soul for the last few years. And I'm a manifester in human design. So anger is my like not self theme, which so it can be really active and really strong. And it's like I'm like creating my dream reality. It's here. I'm living it. I'm doing it. And also I'm feeling so much underlying anger in my body.
Mm.
And I sit here sometimes for hours, just like almost like torn into these two different spaces. And I still have yet to really be able to understand my anger and how to transform it. So this conversation is like definitely really like touching me. It's why I was crying earlier.
I can't tell the story without crying. I
Yeah.
don't think I'm supposed to,
Yeah.
and that's okay. Yeah. And the thing is, I can feel it when I'm in a networking group and I'm surrounded by a bunch of baby boomers and they have their machine way of doing things. And I can feel myself not okay with sitting there with them because it's not me. And I try and play their game, and I'm so bad at their game. So by claiming a stage and simply starting off by saying, I am not a public speaker, I am not a coach, those are not my names, I am an oral historian. And that allows me, it gives me the freedom through the word, through the naming, to become whatever I need to become. And when people look at me, because they're looking for the logic, they need to understand, what's she doing? What's wrong with her? Oh, I'm an oral historian. When you make up your own name, they can't argue with you. They seek to understand. That's all. That's why they're violent, angry, scared, aggressive. But if you use your own words, I'm an ethereal walker. Oh, okay. What's that? Look at that. Open-mindedness. Well, I'll tell you what an ethereal walker is. An ethereal walker is someone who lives in the energy field. You can see energy everywhere and you play with it. I grew up in that plane. And they know what I'm talking about because they felt it when they were children. Oh, what was that like? And suddenly I'm telling a closed-minded Christian or a closed-minded Republican or a narcissist about my journey. And because they feel it, they understand it, and they connect with it. Now, connection.
Yeah, so it's not
It
appealing.
should not take you 10 years. I believe I can get this done within a few weeks. We just didn't have the map. I made a map. So you can I have a map.
Good job.
That's it. I have a map. So that's it. It should not take you 10 years. It should take you a few weeks. It's intense, but I have a map.
All right. I love it. Wow. Amazing. So yeah, I can't wait for this audience to be able to connect with you further. And I will definitely be posting your links. I know you had something you wanted to offer the audience. If you want to share what that is.
My triadic healing is free.
Okay.
I don't charge for this. What I want is human connection. What I want are stages. What I want is word of mouth. That's my price. I don't want money. I want marketing. Organic marketing. tell my story. That's the price. I have a YouTube link I just sent you. And I would love the recording of this video.
I will send it to you.
And that's my price. My goal is to get on every stage and podcast as I want, just to tell this story over and over again until everyone knows my song, because my song is your song.
Wow.
We just have been looking for the right words, and I found the words. So my gift is this story. Here are the words you've been looking for. I found them. Please use them.
I will. I'm definitely going to look in, or I would love to experience your triadic healing process. Do you call it triadic healing?
Triadic healing. Yep. I have Journey into the Self, which is my workshop.
Mhm.
And then I have 2 parts. I have, oh my God, I love this. I have the Healing Garden, which is part 1, healing the self. Part 2, cultivators. This is for parents, teachers, and relationships. Part 3, get certification to teach this to other people. If you want to create your own healing business and you want to teach and embrace my technique for your own business. And then the second part of the Healing Garden is Sunshine Imagination Adventures. This is my playground where I live, where I get to spend some quality time with me, because I have not allowed me for a long time. So now I'm on Sunshine Imagination Adventures, and I'm on a honeymoon with myself.
Woo, I love it.
Oh, yeah. I do healing getaway resorts where I travel the world. I do Anna's Elite, which is my VIP club where people are more than welcome to get in close. And it's really the only way anyone can contact me directly because I'm popular. And then I have my, oh, what do I have? I have a lot. I have, oh my God, I can't even think of it all right now. Just Sunshine Imagination Adventures. And I also have my membership to the Healing Garden, which is Journey into the Self. That allows people to go in every Tuesday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, join me on Zoom. And I give a 3-hour workshop, at least 3 hours. We start at 6, but it goes till whenever, 2 a.m., whatever. Bring wine, bring weed, bring water. And it's just a full philosophical discussion where people can pick my brain. And if you have any questions about triadic healing, you can absolutely ask me. I also cover communication, emotions, and boundary setting in that space. And then I have a Dungeons and Dragons club, and I use my psychology and my storytelling to DM games. And I'm actually meeting with a broadcaster tomorrow night to get my team live on podcasting, so you can actually watch my Dungeons and Dragons games.
You are very multifaceted. You do so many things.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm not done yet. This is my favorite one. My favorite one is part 3, World Peace Manifestation Day. That is when I unite everyone, June of 2024, around the world to manifest world peace. I also teach manifestation. I teach you how to do it. I teach you what part of the brain you're accessing and why. And in addition to that, I have the round table. The round table is membership, $15,000 per head. And you join the round table, and then we vote on world problems to heal. The money is pooled together and then basically given to whichever area we vote on, whether it be fixing global warming or taking down the Hoover Dam and fixing that problem out west with the water. And that's going to be the first one I do, I think. Or you name it. When you submit your membership, you get to also choose on what topics you want to heal with the world. And as I said, we take an entire year. And same thing with World Peace Manifestation Day. That's a full festival we do for 3 days. New York City is where it's going to be headquartered. And I basically have the World Peace Manifestation that I lead out of New York City, in addition to the round table, when we all come together and we decide to vote, or we vote on which world problem we're going to resolve. We take that pool of money.
Run.
I know. What do you think I'm doing? Shh. What do you think I'm doing here? Shh. Shh. So yeah, we put it toward that cause and we fixed the problem. And yeah, if that's also available.
Love it.
I also do public speaking and I do guest podcasting. So yeah, this is it. I call this Anna Land.
Well, these are all,
This is the kingdom of imagination.
I love it. This is the new earth. This is how we build the new earth. You know,
It is. Yes.
a lot of the things you're describing, I've actually had visions of, like the actually exactly what you just described with the round table. I had visions of that years and years ago, and I think I'm supposed to be there. So
You're a
we'll have to
seer.
continue.
You're a seer.
We'll have to
Yes.
continue this conversation.
And I'm actually in touch with a peace ambassador. He's one of the persons I've been talking to. Like I said, I'm
Good.
connected.
My gosh.
A couple celebrities as well. I won't name drop, but I've also been talking to a couple celebrities.
What?
It's out there.
Celebrities
Like,
want actually world peace? Okay.
like, yeah, no, it's going. It's like wildfire. So,
Yay. Woo!
I have a PR agent on standby. I've got everything all ready to go. I'm literally just waiting to hit the go button.
Oh my gosh, well, I'm so
And
honored that you joined us on this.
I am very excited.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much
No,
for sharing. Yeah, seriously.
yeah. Yeah, I'm very, very excited. So it's been a very retrograde. It's so funny because when I sit down and I look at every Mercury retrograde, May, I was born in May. So it really, not only that, I was not just born in May. I have, oh my God, I have my sun, my moon, my Mercury, and one other planet all in Taurus. So every Mercury retrograde, April to May, my life, I wrote Broken one year and started therapy. Another year, I ended up divorcing, and yeah, I ended up getting a divorce. And another year, I ended up coming out as Imagination, and that's when I had the vision of the healing garden. That's when I saw all of this, and that was in 2022 when I saw all of this. And
I'm living on a garden right now. I'll have to send you some photos because it is like an enchanted, like it's like I live in an enchanted forest, quite literally.
yeah,
Been working in a garden all summer this summer for the first time. Like I've never gardened in my life. And I somehow ended up in this like perfect situation where I'm actually learning how to grow food, and the garden is like the magical garden of Eden. So as you're talking about
yeah,
the healing garden, I am in a healing garden as we speak.
yeah. I'll have to tell you how I came up with the name. The name itself. No, I'll tell you now. I was going to therapy. It was early 2015. And I had so much anger. And it was the first time in my life I was feeling anger. And I just had so much rage, so much rage. So I got home and I had a half an acre of land. And at that time, I had about 30 raspberry bushes to plant. So I picked up a shovel and I just dug at the earth. And I thought while I was digging, wow, Mother Earth can take it. Gaia can take it. I'm giving it. So I poured all of my rage and hate into earth, and it felt like I was giving all of it to my mother, and she took it for me. And I dug for 2 hours. When I was done and I was exhausted and muddy and dirty, I quietly picked up the raspberry bush and I dropped it into the hole. And then there was this beautiful plant in front of me. And then I did it again. When I was done, I had 50 rose bushes, over 20 trees, a peach tree, 3 pear trees, over 40,000 bulbs, 9 gardens. And then I meditated and I did Tai Chi and yoga inside my garden. And that's where I invented Triadic healing, was in the healing garden. In 2020, when my then husband threw me out, I lost the garden. And I wandered literally backpacked through Manhattan for a year until I met someone. I met a man. Everyone was using me as their whore. And everyone at that time in my life was using me as a kitchen slut. That man saw me and knew I was a goddess and treated me like a goddess. And he's the only one who did. And when I told him that I was sick with an STI at that time, and I couldn't see him, I was expecting him, like everybody else, to say, see ya, dumped me. That man did not. He said, oh, I guess I'll have to talk to you and get to know you for a couple weeks then. And then when he heard about my story, a lot of men will say, fuck that shit and dump you. Not that man. He laid himself down and said, use my body to heal. Use my home to heal. Whatever you need, you heal. And I felt so safe that all of my altars could come out, and they did. And that's when imagination came out, and he stood by me through all of it. He is my imp, and he is the king of my garden, and he is the love of my life. So when I went to create this business and I needed to reach others and I needed to build this thing, I saw a lighthouse, a massive beacon in the middle calling to people, come home. Come home. I have unconditional belonging here for you. Unconditional love and unconditional living here, AKA authentic living. And I decided to call it the Healing Garden because that is where I healed me, and that is where my love also later healed me. So now that's where I'm going to heal the world, is with the Healing Garden.
That's beautiful. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. I am so, so happy. Thank you so much for all of your time.
Thank you for sharing. I can't wait to share your message.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to see where this takes all of us.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an adventure.
It really is.
It's an adventure, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, let's let it be enjoyable and fun and
Oh,
expressive and authentic and exciting and loving. That's
yeah.
life is too precious not to embrace it fully.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
will show you a different way to live.
Me
Thank
too.
you so, so much.
Thank you. Definitely will be in touch with you, and I'll send you this.
Yep. You too.
great
Thank
day.
you so much. You
Bye.
too. Bye.